Jeffrey's making everyone feel uncomfortable. Jeffrey is racist. It's interesting that when I said the word racist, I just saw Weatherspoons. Weatherspoons is like a UK franchise of like pubs. It's where you would assume a racist and everyone's gonna say, oh no it's not, but like it's where you'd assume a racist goes. And the image of a racist who I have in my mind is like a high body fat percentage, bald head, wearing like a white England football top, like drinking a pint at like 11 AM on a Tuesday. And by 12 o'clock he's being dragged out by the bouncers who like know him by his first name. I'm not racist, I just think they should go home. Adonis. You look around at the people in Adonis's tribe and it's interesting. They're so diverse. Men, women, black, white, Asian. Why do you think a man like Adonis would lead a tribe that's so diverse? Because he understands that there's beauty and real value in our differences, in our cultures. And so Adonis cultivates a tribe in which our differences are celebrated and used to bring us all up together. Do you know what I find like incredibly sad? I disliked being brown-skinned Asian for most of my life. I grew up in very racist era of like, so I lived in Liverpool in UK and it's very different now. So when I tell people this story of my family living in Liverpool, which is like a city in UK, everyone's like shocked because they're like, wait, Liverpool's not like that, like everyone's so nice. But back 15 years ago, it was like we were living in a very racist time. There was a black teenager named Anthony Walker who was like very brutally murdered just less than a mile away from my house, and he was killed by like racist guys because he had a white girlfriend. And I don't want to like, no, you know what? Like, I think sometimes you need to hear some gory details to really like feel something. And I could just tell you, oh, he was attacked by racists, but it's like they bought like a ice axe from like a, like a warehouse shop, like the type of axes that they use to like climb up like big ice walls or something, and they like stuck it like deep into his skull. We were being attacked like quite consistently. There was like a group of like particular like young racist like high schoolers who literally would like egg our house, throw bricks through our house like very, very consistently, like every couple of nights, because they had like this like issue with my sister. My dad or my mom went into like the high school to speak to them, and maybe they got into trouble, and then they literally found our address and literally started like attacking us, attacking my sister, bullying my sister, throwing drinks at her, throwing bricks through the house and everything. I can't even imagine how stressful this would have been for my family, but I remember there was points when my dad would literally like hide out in the car. He'd park the car like just a few meters away from my house and literally like hide under like just with like a baseball bat, just like waiting for these to like come. I remember there was a point when like he caught one of them as well, and like I didn't see it, but like he brought him back. We literally had like this little ute with him with like a like busted up nose. When the police came, he told them like, oh yeah, he just tripped like like honestly, like, yeah, you deserve it, you little prick. And then his mum came, right? This was like chaos on our street. I remember this day so clearly. So this happened, these guys have been egging our house. He catches one of them, he's probably hit him or something. My dad has hit this guy, brings him back, so he's inside of our front garden. He's kind of like holding him there like hostage, and then out of nowhere like bare people come who are like his friends and like his group who have been doing it. His sister comes, then his mum comes, like they've been calling everyone to like come. His mum comes, like literally drives, almost crashes into like our front garden, comes out, like punches my dad straight away, like grabs his son. The police like drive by, then eventually come back, and then they see us. From what I remember, like I think the woman got arrested for like punching my dad. Then it got worse after that. I remember my parents like desperately trying to sell the house and like move. I remember it was such a weird thing of like we weren't allowed to tell our friends where we were moving to because my parents were so scared that this would like follow us to a different city. And so I lived with like this happening, seeing things about like terrorists on the news and the internet and everything, making like friends who were like subtle racists and everything. When I look back now, I'm like, why the was I friends with these people in like high school who were like, they were pretty racist, like they'd make like racist jokes but not in like playful tease, but as like horrible shit, and they just had like racist values and everything. They'd call me a packy and everything, and it was like that was the funny joke and everything. And I remember that there was a point when I started calling myself it. Now I do it, but it's like I call myself like I joke around and call myself a packy in like a similar way to like a black guy would call himself the N-word, where it's like it's not out of like self-hatred or anything. It's kind of like you've claimed it. Now it's my word. Do you know what I mean? Like people used it against me. Now I'm using it. It's my word now. And so I remember being like 14, 15 years old, and I started playing Minecraft. And I would play on this particular server, which would be called MC PvP. If anyone knows it, bro, it's top, like literally the best Minecraft server you could ever play on. And it had this like particular style of like Hunger Games in the server, where like you'd start off, you had to like get items and like kill everyone else and everything. And you would often make friends in it. So you'd write there like, oh, anyone want a team? Like here's my Skype. Like, you just put your Skype name in the public chat of like 100 people, and people would add you. I had 2 Skype accounts. One of them was my normal Skype account that, like people who I knew, like my real life friends, I would add them and everything. And for this purpose, for like, speaking to people online, I literally had one which was called like James. Like I literally called myself James, and I would pretend to be white. I literally never wanted to tell people that my name was Hamza. I remember there was one awkward point, maybe before I made this Skype account, where I played like a game with someone on Skype, and you know, it was so sick, and when he asked me what my name was, and I was so like shy of saying like Hamza, nothing really happened. He didn't say anything racist or anything, but it was like in my mind that he just like, I visualized the guy that I just played the Hunger Games with, literally just hearing that my name was Hamza and like him wanting to like hurt me, or him thinking like, ew, that's gross, like I've just played with a brown guy. Like, these were the thoughts in my mind. And so I would meet new people and I would literally add them on an account where I had like a white British name because I thought that was like better. There was a point then when I made like quite a solidified group of friends who would play this server, and like for a while they literally thought my name was like James and I was white, up until maybe like 6 months of playing like every single day together, when I finally like added them all on like my real life account. And it's really nice, man. Like the 3 guys in particular who I'm thinking about, like I have them on like Instagram, and like I still see that they like watch some of my videos. One of the guys that comments on my videos quite often. Shout out to Robin. I still call them by their Minecraft names. I was about to call him Robot. Robin, Abood, and August. And so they were the first people online that I actually like exposed like my real skin color to. And I would remember being so shy when we first like put our video cameras on. Whether it's race, or maybe it's your height or your name or some other part of you, authenticity is so incredibly important. Like I know that it feels so easy to like want to be inauthentic, to present like a different version of yourself to the world, to someone in particular. So you know, you want to act a certain way. Trust me when I say that authenticity is one of the best traits that you can have, and it's kind of like a skill. So if right now you feel like you've been living somewhat of like an inauthentic life, just understand that to be more authentic, to show more of your real self instead of like some variation. So for me, like the variation was like me pretending to be white. For you, it might be pretending to be like more confident, or pretending to be like more of a personality style or something. To show more of your personalities, it's kind of like a skill that you have to level up. Like every time you express how you actually are with no sort of like control or change or influence or manipulation, that's like you're getting experience in your authenticity skill. And you know, just recently I spent like an hour journaling about my values. Like this is such a weird thing to do. I literally wrote down on paper, okay, what are my values? What are the things I value the most? And one of the biggest things I knew for a while was progress to my goals. I also wrote down about like brotherhood, having close male best friends, and also love, like dating girls. Then I wrote for the #1 spot, the ultimate like most important value that I like literally is more important than everything else. I literally said it's more important than love. I literally said it's more important than my goals. I literally said it's more important than any friends or anything. And it was honesty/authenticity. The reason why that is like my #1 value, I'm just combining them together, honesty and authenticity, is because without those things, everything else is pointless. Making progress to goals that are dishonest and inauthentic to yourself is pointless. Having brotherhood, friends, love, relationship, girls, which is dishonest and inauthentic to yourself, is pointless. The foundation of everything is honesty and authenticity, especially with yourself. You must be honest with yourself. You must be authentic with yourself. It becomes like a little bit of a hurdle to show that to other people. But the first and most important person that you have to be honest and authentic to is yourself. Who are you really? What do you really value? What do you really want? What is your brain truly like? A lot of people are so inauthentic to themselves because of like a lack of awareness and introspectiveness. This is why I think one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever gave on this channel is to simply just turn off your screens and just look at your wall. Just grab a piece of paper and a pen and just kind of like spend half an hour every single day just kind of thinking about yourself. Just think. Allow no distractions, no phone, turn everything off, no screens. Oh, I'll do this on PC. Shut the f***. I'll write this on my phone. Shut the f***. Grab a piece of paper and literally just look at your wall for half an hour a day, 1 hour a day, and you'll start to realize some very interesting things about yourself. I'm so proud and grateful to say that I have like such a beautiful social life right now. I literally have friends that I've been like, this feels so weird and awesome at the same time. I literally have friends that I've been 100% authentic with. You know, like those random thoughts that you don't tell anyone about, those insecure thoughts, those dark thoughts and bro. There's friends that I tell all of that to. Sometimes you can be in a social situation and you get like a weird thought, you get a weird desire, you get like a negative thought, you feel for some reason. When you keep that to yourself, that's you being inauthentic, that's you being dishonest. When you have someone that you love, whether it's someone you're dating or a very close friend like I've recently just built, being able to like be totally authentic with them feels amazing. This is very, very different for me. But you might be thinking, oh well, I don't have those friends so I can't be authentic. But it's actually the other way around. You will meet and you will befriend like, you know, the highest quality friends you could ever get when you are authentic to begin with, when you are honest to begin with. If you're acting like someone you're not, if you're not like disgusting or showing parts of yourself to the people that you meet, you can never actually get onto that very, very close level of like brotherhood. And a big part of this comes from like exposing your weaknesses, like really talking about things like your insecurities and especially things that make you look bad. Like I will tell like my weird desires and like the random thoughts and all this shit to like my best friends, and they will do the same for me. And that's why we've been able to cultivate such a loving friendship. But you have to start the relationship with authenticity. You'll only get the kind of relationships that really serve you, that are full of love, the kind of relationships that you really want. You can only get them if you start with honesty and authenticity. Scroll down right now and click on the subscribe button underneath this video. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.